Good morning, everyone. I'm here. We're finally doing this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, but I'm also like, fuck, finally. Right? I have been trying to do this for 3 days now. Oh my God, school holidays. It's already intense, school holidays, with 3 kids, and then you add the layers on to like 3 autistic ADHD kids. Then let's add in the fact that my husband and I both, between two of us, run 3 businesses, and shit gets hectic. So I've been trying to do this live for the last 3 days. Oh my God. And I definitely was not washing weed in sheets from the 4-year-old literally 5 minutes before this call. Definitely wasn't doing that. I'm super professional and have my life together. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here finally. So I'm going live right now in the Facebook group and on Instagram, and we're just going to try and make this work. And hopefully I save the recording somewhere, and then I will put it up on YouTube and all the other places and all the other pages and all the other things, because I have shit to say and my brain's just been soaked up with too many espresso martinis and pavlova for the last few days, last few weeks. But like business wise, at 2 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep because I was still up wrapping Christmas presents and stuff, I just had this like explosion of business creativity. There's so much I want to do, but it's like my brain's not working when the kids are around like 9 to 3. It's just not working at 9 to 3. They're around all the fucking time. But that feels like the intensive time where I'd normally be working, but they're home. Anyway, enough rambling. What I want to talk to you with you guys about today, I don't want to talk at you. I don't want to Barbie and Ken and play my guitar at you. I want to talk with you guys about and answer questions about and talk about the things is the 2024 strategy, right? And oh, what the fuck? I just had fireworks go off on my Instagram live. I don't know if that was meant to happen. Hopefully this is not a random filter, or did that just happen because I said 2024 and it like had a moment? That was super weird. Okay, but let's talk about setting up 2024, and I want to give you guys a sneak peek into my 2024 strategy and how I've actually been running things for the past 8 years, right? And this is not something that I've taught on publicly before. This is something that usually, if you're a one-on-one client of mine or you're in my mastermind, enrollments are open for that starting in February, by the way. If you're in those spaces, you kind of had access to this information. But outside of that, usually this time of year, if you've been following along for a little while, you would know that I start speaking about goal setting. I run like a sale on my goal setting like a badass, so keep an eye out for that as well. That usually like that's the focus and the conversation around this time of year is very much that like goal setting and setting goals in not the smart way, but in a sexy way, setting goals like a badass, understanding exactly what you want, reverse engineering the goals. And so that's kind of usually the conversation. And I feel like that's been like the first step for a lot of people. But now I've got a lot of people in my audience who've been following on for the past 8 years, for the past 6 years as Sexy Selfish, the brand. And they're like, okay, Shona, we've done the goal setting workshop. Yes, it's fucking amazing. We do it every year. We bring it back out. We go through all the things. What are you not telling us behind that? And so now I'm going to tell you what actually goes on behind that, because the goal setting is only like a small part of it, right? So when it comes to business and achieving everything you ever want in life, I've literally achieved every single thing I've ever put on a vision board. Even this week, there was like 3 or 4 things that actually happened in my life. I was like, wait a minute, I think I pinned that on my vision board on Pinterest, and I went back and checked. I'm like, yep, that's exactly it. So the most random stuff happens, and I might teach about manifestation, and I might be that person that's talking about energetics and mindset and the energy of things every single day, because that is such an important part of things. But the other half of that conversation is that that's only half of the success. It is the combination of energetics and mindset and manifestation with actually fucking doing shit and actually getting out of bed and taking action and doing the things that you said you were going to do. It comes back to, and this is like a whole nother rant for another day, rant for another day on another podcast, about the idea of the path of least resistance. I feel like that was an important concept that people have had to talk about the last few years, it's definitely been that trending topic, the path of least resistance. Just like people using manifestation as an excuse to just be fucking lazy. And that's not the point. When we talk about the path of least resistance, it's really about not overcomplicating your goals, not creating unnecessary self-sabotaging drama in between where you are now and where you want to be. The path of least resistance comes down to how can I have the most amount of impact without, creating drama and problems. But it's not about just like doing the bare fucking minimum and then sitting on the couch and using your orgasms to manifest. Use your orgasms to manifest, but you've also got to like show up and create a website, right? It's a very complicated topic that I feel very passionately about. But let's just say it's that combination of manifestation and using your energy to align with what you want, but also actually doing the shit. So behind the vibes and behind the energetics, there is always a very intentional, very strategic plan in place. And what I'm going to do today is share with you my plan, because you can go and learn about all my manifestation stuff. There's literally, you can go and download the 4-part cheat sheet right now. If you're watching live and you want to get that, just comment manifest. And you want the 4-part manifestation cheat sheet. Like, that's super easy. I'll teach you about that all day long. But behind that, in, what do I want to say? Kind of like conjunction with that, alongside it in parallel, is this very strategic plan. And this is the plan that I have been using since 2015. And this is the plan alongside manifestation that has allowed me to achieve everything you see in front of me today. This is really what it's about, like that foundation of consistency, of actually creating momentum in your business and then being able to capture momentum, because being able to create momentum and being able to actually like capture it and handle it and make the most of that momentum, two completely separate things. And then actually tracking this system and this plan, this way of doing things. It's why I can move really fucking fast. It's why I can be present on multiple platforms. It's why running 2 companies, I'm not going to necessarily say feels easy, but I can do it. I can run 2 companies and be on multiple platforms every single day and have a blog and have a podcast and have private coaching clients and have a mastermind and do guest speaking gigs. I can do all these things and still clock off and go and spend an hour in bed with my husband, hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours if we have the time. Like, I can still live a really great quality of life while managing all these things. And it's not because of some incredible thing I was born with. It's because I've intentionally created strategies around all this. This strategy is the reason that before a new year, before January 1st even hits, I know I already have multiple 6 figures locked in already for 2024. Already done, already secured, easy peasy before the year even starts. This is why I have become known, and not to like toot my own horn, but toot toot. This is how I'm able to compress time and build momentum that sometimes takes people 3 years, I can do in 3 months. Yeah. This is why as well, decisions are really easy, because I always have the data to know what is working and what isn't. So I don't have to waste my time building on Pinterest because everyone says I should build on Pinterest when I know that I've tracked it for 90 days and it's not working for me, or it's not working for me yet. And then I can energetically check in. Is this a vibe for me? Is this something I want to continue and see if there's more information down the track to make a decision? Or is this something that I can see a clear ROI and is not for me and my business? So this is all very intentional strategy combined with daily habits and personal development and manifestation and energetics. But like, this is not a mistake. This is not magic. I sat down one day, had an orgasm and manifested $100,000 months. Like, that's not magic. Do magic, incredible things happen? Yes. Do I get paid in ways I could have never predicted? Yes. Do I combine strategy with powerful energetics? Yes. But it is the strategy which is a cornerstone piece to my growth, success, and consistency. I think that's what it really comes down to. And there is a magic that happens when you commit to daily actions. And when you hold yourself to a new standard, when you finally go, I'm sick of being that flaky bitch. I'm sick of saying to people, I know I should be more consistent, but I just can't do it. Like when you actually get to a point where you're like, I'm no longer available for that energy and I'm only available for actual consistency and momentum and the level of income that I want and the level of impact I have. Yeah. So I get asked, coffee first. I get asked all the time, how do you manage it all? And my answer is a simple one. And I just say because I just do, because I have ADHD. You often to see me go, ADHD, bitch. Because honestly, a lot of people aren't ready to hear what it really takes. They don't actually want me to say, this is what I do, because they're like, ew, right? So to me, I can create a bi-weekly podcast. I can be on YouTube. I can be posting 3 business Instagram pages. I can be managing 2 Facebook groups, sending out newsletters weekly, coaching clients regularly. And that doesn't feel like a burden. And why is that? Because I've spent a decade, nearly a decade, well, I've been in business over 10 years, but 8 years consistently doing this strategy, a decade consistently cultivating daily habits that are necessary to build and capture and expand the momentum from that consistency. Like I have ADHD. It's diagnosed. I got diagnosed last year. I should be a fucking hot mess, right? I should be. I have ADHD. I'm chaotic as fuck. I'm literally like, oh my God. I'm like, my ADHD manifests in so many other ways. I think the key thing about that is I didn't get diagnosed till 31. So before that, for like the 7 years prior of using this plan, it was basically just how do I sort my shit out, not knowing I have ADHD and a literal problem with organization and memory. So I created a system to make sure I was still consistent. And that's all the success you see in my business today, right? So it didn't happen overnight, but it did happen intentionally and it did happen strategically and it did happen by playing the long-term game. So when I first started this concept, it was really about like committing to one thing every day. I wanted to commit to posting on Instagram every day. And then I launched the Mums Manifesting Wealth Facebook group. And then I started challenging myself to go live regularly. And then I started to post consistently. And after nailing that, I added in the podcast. Initially doing weekly episodes. I think once we hit like 150 episodes and 10,000 downloads, I shifted to bi-weekly episodes. Every Monday since like 2018, newsletters have been sent out. So I can show up in my masterminds multiple times each week, in my Facebook groups, on all the social media. I can launch courses 4 times a year. And people say, how do you juggle all this? Because I made a commitment and a decision to hold myself to this standard. And I created the strategy to help me get there and to create repeatable success. Now, when I say I created this strategy, I didn't like poof, it came into my brain from nowhere. I learned the concept when I was in multi-level marketing. I know, like multi-level marketing. I took the concept and turned it into a full thing, right? And what it really was about was like recognizing when you work for someone else, your boss gives you tasks that are like non-negotiables. We've all like, I'm assuming we've all had a job before. I mean, I don't know for sure. My first job was a swimming instructor, and you had to put things out in the morning and pack things up at the end of the day, and checklists to roll off to make sure all your kids came back out of the water, and check that the whistles work in case there were sharks, and often it wasn't sharks, it was dolphins that just wanted to swim with all the kids, but still terrifying. And that was my first job. There was a list, there was policies, procedures, there was things you had to do your job. And yet when we work for ourselves, we're like, yes, I'm the boss, and I don't have to do what anyone else says. And I was like, fuck, I'm the boss and I don't have to do what anyone else says, right? You don't treat your business the same way. You might not have to vacuum the shop floor, but you do have to consistently show up and post and write emails and follow up on proposals. I remember I would get to work, one of my first jobs when I was finishing high school, I worked for OPSM, and that was my career before I started opening up businesses. It was actually an optical dispenser. I worked for OPSM, Lawman and Pank. I ran a couple of Specsavers stores. By the end, I maxed out my career by 19, being a typical overachieving stubborn bitch that I am. But there was all the stores had these fucking hoovers, these horrible big vacuum cleaners, with the eyes on it. I don't know what they're called, but these horrible vacuum cleaners to drag around the whole store. But I knew every single morning when I get there, I'd turn up with my V energy drink, probably slightly hungover, or from staying up really late studying that night, because like a crazy bitch, I was like, I'll do TAFE and university externally in the same 2 years and finish 8 years of degrees in 2 years while also working full time. I know, like, how was I not diagnosed sooner? Because that's like classic ADHD. Anyway, so I turn up to work hungover as fuck, and it didn't matter if I had a headache. I had to vacuum the floor, ready to go, ready to open up the day, vacuum the floor, go and spray the fabric softener, go put the filing away. There was just certain things I had to do. And when you're your own boss, it brings flexibility and it brings creativity, and you get this amazing ability to be able to create your dream life and business. But this creativity and flexibility also allows us with so many opportunities to just not do the shit we said we were going to do, not show up in a certain way, not vacuum the shop floor. When you're your own boss, it demands that you hold yourself to a standard. And this is really what I see the difference between the people who stay stuck at hobby level and the people who really step up and have a business that has lasting impact and incredible income, is creating consistency, holding yourself to that new standard. And it's really about building so your audience trusts you as well. They know you're going to show up as you promised. They know you're going to turn the fuck up. You're going to do what you said you were going to do. And it's about cultivating these daily habits to build momentum and continue to grow, because it doesn't start overnight. You don't magically wake up on January 1st like a whole new person just has her shit together. Like, it doesn't fucking happen, right? You start with one thing and you actually consistently do that for a period of time, and that then turns from something you have to consciously think about to an automatic habit, and then you add another thing in, right? It's these little tiny daily moments that build momentum, and that's how you continue to grow. So I'm not suggesting you start everything tomorrow. Here's the crux of a 90-day plan: is one habit at a time, build with consistency. And I'm not going to say just one habit, like we do a few, but it's not about like, this is how I want my life to look in 10 years, so I'm going to implement these 100 things I have to do every day today, and then that'll all work. It's like, okay, if you've got 100 things you eventually want to be doing and creating and achieving within the next 10 years, let's pick like 3 or 4 of them and let's do it, right? So it's about that. Okay, so let's just talk about the 90-day strategy. And I would love if you guys have questions about this. If you have any questions for me, actually, because like, fuck, I'm bored. All my coaching calls are, I don't have any coaching calls for like a few more weeks. I'm just like, oh, I need to flex my creative. I need to coach something. I need to help someone. Like, God's sake, someone let me help someone. Via text, though, as my life's a fucking shit show at the moment. Okay, so if you have any questions for me around 90-day plans or just questions in general, please let me know. Let's talk about what a 90-day strategy is. Let's actually get into the bones of this bitch. So, women in business, consistency is really the superpower that we're all neglecting. Or it's that, like, we've heard it so many times. It's like when someone says, I just made a decision and then my life got better, and everyone's just like rolls their eyes like, fuck you and you're fucking talking about decisions. It's the same thing. I think we've become desensitized to this word consistency. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone knows they should be more consistent. None of us are doing it. It just feels like one of those buzzwords, right? But I really have found 10 years in business, working with clients across multiple industries at different stages of business. Show me your habits and I can easily predict your success. And I'll be super honest, I can tell straight away when chatting to a new potential client, even just via the DMs. Sometimes even when they've just sent their application through to even have a conversation with me, and I've just gone and had a quick look at their Instagram page before we even got on the phone, I'm like, I know what's going on. And I can see the holes straight away that we need to fix, and the mindset pretty quickly. It's kind of my superpower, is just seeing endless potential in people and knowing exactly what to do for them. Ironically, I really struggle with it for myself, so I pay a shit ton of coaching to my mentor to be able to help me kind of mirror that back. But I can see things in people's businesses pretty quickly where the holes are and where the mindset's kind of lacking. And in truth, consistency is where I see a lot of women fall. And if it's often not consistency, it comes down to messaging, marketing, and the mindset stuff. But the majority of people, consistency will solve a lot of your fucking problems. There are so many layers to this, don't get me wrong. Like, as an ADHD woman in business with 3 autistic kids, I fucking get it, right? I get it. I also have premenstrual dysphoric disorder. So if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically like my ADHD just fucks with your normal menstrual cycle. And even though I've had a hysterectomy and I don't technically bleed every month, I still have like a hormone dip where like a week of the month I'm completely fucking useless. Completely useless. Like a massive depression spiral. and I can still figure out how to show up consistency. So even like I've got all this shit going on in my life, and you will still see me show up consistently because I know that is the key, the gateway drug to all the success that you want. It is a multi-layered thing, but truthfully, it comes down a lot to just lack of consistency. If you have lack of consistency, then you have a lack of momentum. If you have a lack of momentum and consistency, then you have a lack of data. And if you have a lack of data, you have a lack of certainty. So you don't actually know what's working and what's actually not working. And if you don't have certainty and those analytics and that data, you can't plan. And if you have a lack of all that stuff, guess what it ends up in? Lack of sales. So the thing, lack of sales is never the problem. Lack of sales is a symptom of something else not working right, whether that's lack of consistency, lack of momentum, lack of data, lack of certainty, or lack of planning. Lack of sales is never the problem. It is the symptom of something else going on. Yeah, so why does consistency matter? And if you want to share in the comments, where do you fuck up with consistency? What are you struggling the most? Or how do you feel about consistency as a concept, as a word, whatever it is? So why does consistency matter? Consistency breeds trust. And trust is what turns into sales. That's just how it is. When you are consistent, then you have access to tracking and analytics. These are the game changers. This is honestly how the women that you follow online, the CEOs you look up to, the women that you're just like, oh my God, I'd love to have a business like them. This is how they're actually making decisions. Even if they are selling you some bullshit on feminine energy business. Yeah, I said that. It's actually analytics. Or someone on their team whose job is to understand the analytics, the data, and the tracking to make all that shit happen, right? Even if they're selling you some bullshit on feminine energy business, they are still, if they are a successful woman in business turning over multi-millions, they are still using analytics, data, tracking, or someone on their team is using all that information for them to help make decisions. Yeah? Consistency matters. Getting uncomfortable is where the magic is. I know it's so fucking cliched. So cliched. We're all sick of hearing it, but it is honestly how you grow. You don't just go to the gym and walk on the treadmill for 15 minutes and never break a sweat and expect massive changes in your body or health. Or we all know this. It takes getting uncomfortable. It takes being pushed by a personal trainer who you have a love-hate relationship with because they get you results, but you just want to punch them in the fucking face half the time too. Like, that is how you grow. You grow when you don't think you've got another set in you and you do it, right? So creating momentum in your business is non-negotiable. How you actually create momentum and results is by being consistent enough to see momentum. Results don't happen if you do something for 2 weeks and then couldn't be bothered for 3. It just doesn't happen. You don't have a business that grows and continually gets bigger and scales and builds momentum. Then you just have fits and starts when you can be fucking half-assed, right? This is the key. This is what separates boss bitch badasses from hobby businesses. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with hobby businesses. There's absolutely fucking not. We love hobby businesses. It's when hobby businesses are playing pretend and getting frustrated and wanting boss bitch badass businesses, but they're don't understand that it actually takes these different steps. It takes a different mindset and a different strategy. That's all it is. Let's just be honest. If you want a hobby business, just have a hobby business. That's cool. Don't set a goal and want to be something else if you know you don't have the personality, consistency, or anything you want to actually do to run a business like that. It's cool. Just stick with what you've got. No one is saying you have to scale to $1 million. No one is saying that. But for the women who do, let's talk about it. So the power of a 90-day plan. We all understand the power of daily habits, the time it takes to build them. A 90-day plan takes what we know we should do and turns it into a project with built-in accountability. So it's about a radical level of responsibility for 90 days. No excuses, no blaming external factors. And this is about leaving your flaky, basic bitch vibes at the door. We're leaving that in 2023. And we're moving on to something. I know, the stats are ridiculous. The amount of people that set New Year's resolutions or goals on the 1st of January, and then by February, not even a month later, it's something like 80% of people have already like forgotten, given up. It's something even stronger. Like I can't remember what the actual stat is. It's high in the 90s, like the amount of people who just within 24 hours can't be bothered with what they said. They're like, oh, I'm not going to drink this year. And then someone's like, you want a mimosa at 11 a.m.? And they're like, yeah, fuck it. So it's the whole thing. And I'm not saying to not live your life, but let's make realistic intentions, and let's actually commit to doing it for 90 days. And the difference between setting a resolution or setting a little goal in the back of your mind and then never sharing it with anyone is that it's cool. Like you can do it or not do it and no one's going to know. No one's going to think less of you. It's a whole different level when you commit to showing up for 90 days with a group of other women and you've all set the goal and you all hold each other accountable, and someone's going to message you every Sunday and be like, so how did you go? Send us the link to your tracking. Like, let's actually see what you did. We're not going to guilt you or shame you, but you said you were going to do it, and where is it? Right? And if you didn't do it, that's cool. No guilt, no shame. Assess, let's be really honest, why didn't it happen and what do you want to do different next week? This is about like not using shame, manipulation, guilt to move someone forward, just using a level of radical responsible accountability and trusting that the women who want to do this said they want to do it, they've paid to be a part of this, or if they're doing it by themselves, whatever, that's cool. Like you wanted to hold yourself to this standard, we're going to hold you to it, right? So it's about asking yourself, how many times have you started a habit only to fizzle out a few weeks later? Was it because it wasn't working, or was it really because you could quit because no one was watching, right? This is about showing up for yourself and being a woman of your word, rain, hail, or shine. For 12 months, I had an ice shower or an ice bath every single day. So I would wake up, go for a walk, and then come home and get in either a freezing cold shower or a literal tub full of ice and cold water. For 12 months, every single day, we did not miss a day until I went in to have my hysterectomy surgery. 12 months, right? No one was watching. We did this, I think without even sharing anything about it for like 9 months. And then I started sharing about it, right? It's about showing up for yourself, being a woman of your word, right? So how does a 90-day plan work? In a nutshell, because right, when I take someone through this over 90 days, there's obviously like so much. We're working together closely for 90 days. In a nutshell version, if you're like, that's a cool concept, Shona, I think I can do it myself, I'm going to go away and do it. And I'll be like, that's cool. I'll see you for round 2 when we open that up in April, because it's so much easier when you do it with other people. But if you wanted to do it yourself, this is the kind of the nutshell version of it. Pick a date, commit to 90 days, take daily actions, and track your leads, track your results. So I'm talking about this in context of business, but I've had people do this. Like my daughter's doing a 90-day plan right now in context for, she wants to move up cheer levels this year. During 2024, she wants to move to a new club and she wants to like hit a certain level of tumble goals. All the cheerleader mums watching might understand it. If you aren't a cheerleading mum, you're not going to understand that whatsoever. But she had to commit to like half an hour of stretches and half an hour of stuff every single day if she wants to build her flexibility and get to a point where she can do these really complicated tricks. Sorry, the door's just open. Is that you, babe? Yeah. Okay. He's fine. So she's doing a 90-day plan right now for cheerleading. She wants to get more flexible. She wants to be able to do all these tricks and move up levels in cheer. I'm talking about it in business context. So she's going to be tracking her flexibility along the way. She's going to be tracking what tricks she can do at what certain points. For your business, you're going to be tracking your leads. How many email signups? How many sales? What's your average customer retention like number? What's your email click-through rates? What's your website conversions look like? What's your Facebook group? What's your leads opt-in? What's your sales on this product, that product? So you are tracking where your actual leads and sales come from to know what is working, what still need work, and what's a waste of time. But what is easy to do is also easy not to do, because anyone, that's right there. Pick a date, commit to 90 days, take actions, track your leads. 4 steps. You can take that right now, click out of this live, this replay, whatever the fuck you're watching, and go and do that. Anyone can actually do that, right? But what's easy to do is also super easy not to do. And I get it. I've been there. The first time I ever heard about this concept, I rolled my eyes and I was like, what the fuck? You want to check in with me every Sunday to make sure I've delivered the amount of flyers I said I was going to? Like, I signed up to run a business, not have a boss, right? I was the most stubborn attitude, little pathological demand avoidance, undiagnosed ever stubborn bitch about it. I wanted to quit 4 weeks in, but I didn't. And I'm so fucking glad I didn't. I'm so fucking glad those people message me every Sunday like, so where's your tracking sheet? You have to get on this call and tell us what you did. Because the magic is in the consistency. My first 90-day plan changed everything for me. Everything. I went from like $400 months to over $4,000 months. And I took that evidence and I continued to do 90-day plans back to back for myself every year since then. And it's been this kind of thing every time I've tried to run them, I have a bunch of people that start with me and a small percentage that actually finish the 90-day plan. And anyone who finishes has amazing growth in the business. If you're looking at like the client case studies on my website, if you're watching my TikToks where I do those like client case study videos, it's those girls having the massive income leaps and the massive momentum leaps that use this plan, right? I took the evidence, I continue to do them back to back to myself every year since, plus the manifestation and the energetics and the personal development and all that type of stuff. But it's 90-day plans back to back that has given me this foundation of consistency and this foundation of tracking, which I know sets me apart from a lot of other women in this industry talking about those feminine side of things like manifestation and energetics and mindset. You could be doing it alone. If you are like a data crazy, one of a kind, stubborn bitch, amazing willpower. I have amazing willpower. It's a problem though. It's a problem. And my friends will say about me, she's not half-assed, she's only ever full-ass. Because I gave myself an eating disorder because I diet that good. You know, the willpower is not a problem for me, right? So if you're like me, you're a data crazy, one of a kind unicorn, you say you're going to do something, you stick to it, and you have no problems with that, that's cool. You can do that. It's just not much fun. In fact, there's so many times along the journey the last few years, I've just like wished there was someone I could check in with every week. And that's when I was like, okay, so maybe instead of me looking for a 90-day plan group to join, because they're not out there, I fucking looked, they want to do it the way I do it, to my standard, they're not out there. I was like, maybe I'll do it instead. So last year I taught 90-day plans for the first time in my elite membership. And it was incredible. I loved teaching it. I loved doing it again through myself and having that like other accountability from other women. And yeah, it was amazing. Some of the results that came out of that, people say it's their favorite module they've ever done. People have taken that concept, and even if they didn't do it in the 90 days that we did it together as a group, they've like implemented it since, and it's seen massive growth in their business. I'm talking like from $5,000 years to $50,000 years. It's insane, right? So I've hosted these challenges before. This is the first time I'm opening it up publicly. It begins on January 1st, and this is what it looks like. So basically, what we do is you get access to a bunch of resources, obviously like extra trainings, an ebook explaining everything, all the extra stuff, daily meditations that you can do, all that type of stuff. But then the real gold is the system. You can either, if you're a pen and paper type of girly, because I get it, there is a printable version where you just print out 12 copies of this tracking sheet and you journal on it or write it or put it up in your bathroom and fill it out every single day. There is also, for software geeks like me, who know they work better if they turn their entire life and to-do list into like a video game style quest, there is a Notion template, which you get. That is the sexiest thing I've ever done in Notion. It's amazing. It's got like all the information and then like weeks. So you open up week 1 and then it's got like, this is the activity that I plan to do. This is the personal development that I plan to do. Here's the things I did well this week. Here's the things I want to work on next week. Here's exactly how many posts I said I would put on Instagram. Here's the amount of posts that I did put on Instagram. And here's the leads that I got. Here's the sales that I got from that. And it tracks everything you say you're going to do, but then I've also got completely separate sections for tracking your social media momentum over the 90 days together, tracking your sales momentum over the 90 days together, everything. So it takes you through not only just planning how much activity you're going to do each week over the 90-day cycle, so 12 weeks, it breaks it down to what activity got you closer to where you want to be. What activity got you the most inquiries? What inquiries resulted in the most sales? Did I follow up everyone I said I was going to follow up? Did TikTok make me more money? Or did Facebook make me more money? This is where you can look back and be like, oh, right, now I know TikTok's making me the most amount of money. Now I know carousels are getting the most amount of people on my email list. You actually have all the information to behave like a proper business owner and make decisions based on information, not just vibe checks, right? I like check in and do a vibe check on it, because there's no point in like, oh, TikTok gets me the most sales, but I fucking hate it. There's no point doing TikTok then, is there? Right? So you've got to like vibe check it, but then you've at least got the data to make an informed decision. You're not just going on feels, right? So the Notion template is game changing for so many women. If you are part of the archive membership, on January 1st, we will be dropping the 90-day challenge content. There's an old version of it in there currently. We'll be dropping, including the Notion template, in the archive membership on January 1st. You obviously won't get access to the Facebook group, the weekly check-ins, or the calls with me, but you can actually access that Notion template through the archive membership, which is a really cost-effective way to do it. If that's something that you just want to like, I'm talking about this Notion and you're like, I fucking want that, right? You can actually go and get it. You just have to join the archive membership and it will all be there on January 1st. So the Notion template I'm really excited about. It's the sexiest thing I've ever done. And no, I have not been able to find anything like this online at all. And I know how to search, right? I've traced my family history back in 3 days, back to like the 1600s. This bitch knows how to Google search and figure shit out. I've not found anything like this online. So I'm so excited that this is really like the first of its kind in this space. And my goal is to take 100 women through this year. And then to bring some of the women that are really passionate about it on as paid coaches to expand and, continue that method, even in a much bigger sense. So 90-day challenge, what it includes, apart from all the trainings, the bonuses, and the Notion template, which is going to change your entire life, it's structured in weekly goals, right? So 90 days, then we break it down into weeks, then we break it down into days. It gives you ability to track your progress. There is also 24/7 open supportive community in our Facebook group, which is going to be epic. There'll be weekly check-ins. So yes, I do mean someone will be like, hey, it's Sunday and you need to share your stuff. So if you've been signing up to stuff and they're like, it's accountability, and then you get in there and it's like, no, it's not. That's not what's in here. And then you're going to sign up to this and I'm saying like, there's accountability. And I do mean like, actually, yes, accountability. You will be tagged, you will be messaged like, where is your stuff that you said you would do this week? Where is it? So it's a group coaching program, but I'm only taking 20 women at a time. So I can literally tag and be like, hey, where's your shit? I want to see it. You said you would do it. You're going to do it, right? So that's why I'm only taking 20 people in this round to begin with. I might take 25 next time. I'm going to take 20 this time. So supportive community, weekly check-ins. We're going to do 3 longer form live calls. So at the end of the first 4, at the end of the first 4, at the end of the third 4. So at the end of each month together, we're going to do a big check-in call to go over everything. I've tried doing it like the opposite and doing it at the start of the month, big call, but it was like, no, people need that 4 weeks I get through and then I have a big call with Shona, 4 weeks and then I get through and I have a big call with Shona. So there'll be 3 live calls as a group. And then of course, all the resources, the ebooks, the audio trainings, all the things, right? All the things. So yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. I'm really excited about this. I'm excited about everything I launch in my business, but this is kind of one of those things where I sat down and like spent 2 days going through the complete back end and setting everything up and really getting that Notion template so it suits my brain, which anyone who's worked with me knows like OCD as fuck about certain things and getting this all set up. And I'm like, dang, this is going to change the game, not just for the women who do it, not just for how I'm able to make impact for my business, but if I can make this like a standard industry wide for small business owners, for anyone to grow, this will change the entire industry, right? So it comes back to how to know if this is the right thing for you. And it's probably best to like share what you might currently be experiencing, because that's probably the best way to know, right? I could be like, if you want to be more consistent, this is for you, but like, doesn't mean shit to everyone, because we're all rolling our eyes and being like, ugh, another bitch talking about consistency. So it's more like, how many times have you promised yourself something and you've let it slip through the cracks? How often have you signed up for that free masterclass only to hit snooze on the live session, or forgot about the replays, or never got back around to watching it in time? And then, like, let's talk about that time you were super excited to launch an offer, but the frustration got the best of you when it didn't sell as much as you envisioned on the first day you launched it, and you were like, fuck the whole thing, I won't talk about it anymore. I'm not doing it. The moments that you pledged to wake up earlier, I'm going to get up early tomorrow and go for a walk. And then you just surrender to the seduction of the snooze button each morning. I do that sometimes. I'm not surrendering to the snooze button, the seduction of that. I'm surrendering to actual seduction, because you know me, and I always prioritize sex over going for a walk. But I'm like, cardio is cardio, right? Okay, sometimes I'm smell starfish, but most of the time, legs get a workout. Okay, anyway, not what you were here for. I think it's acknowledging that we've all been there. We have all been really excited to join a program. So pumped to do that course. There's going to be a thing that changed things. I just have this new habit. There's so many things I want to do. I'm not accepting requests into this live. So excited to do something, to join a program, and then life gets in the way. And all those well-intentioned training sessions are left untouched. And the super ambitious 30-day social media marketing plan that you set out and you're so stoked for, just gradually slipped into the abyss of forgotten to-do lists that you never got back to. And here's the truth you don't want to hear, but I think you probably need to hear. Every broken promise to yourself creates this leak in your energy, and it ripples into your strategy and your mindset and your confidence. And the next time you go to set a goal, it subtly just pops up in your head when you start to say, I'm going to get 10 new clients. I'm going to hit 6 figures. It's not just a leak in your strategy. It's a leak in your self-respect. When that doubt pops up and you're like, I'm going to get 10 new clients, and it's going, last time you gave up. I'm going to hit 6 figures. Yeah, but remember that last year that you didn't, because you just like took 3 months off because you got burnt out? Like, remember that? It's not just a leak in your strategy. It's a leak in your self-respect. Where are you not showing up for yourself? Where are you breaking the promises that you made to your future self? And where is that inconsistency really fucking with your success? This inconsistently creates this like subconscious eye roll. Every time you set a goal, your subconscious is just like, okay, all right then. It's this doubt that becomes the background noise against everything you're trying to do. And what I want to do is give you a way to change this pattern. Because the thing is, if you're standing in front of the mirror every day and being like, I am so confident, I get 10 new clients this month, I'm ready for a $60,000 month, and inside your subconscious is just like, we all know you're not going to do that. So many people try to change the subconscious without giving your subconscious evidence or a reason to believe in your decisions, a reason to believe you'll actually do what you say you want to do. So the 90-day challenge is a way for you to get solid as fuck, for you to create evidence then your subconscious goes, hey, she showed up. She did the thing. She actually, okay. She said she was going to do something and she continued to do it. Okay, next time she says an affirmation, we're going to believe her, right? Like, it's giving your subconscious evidence. I live in the country. And so when we're like driving anywhere, it's filled by paddocks in the fields and there's everything on the side of the road. And you can see on some of the hills the worn tracks from where sheep have walked. I know, so country right now. I'm not going to talk about the tractors that make me late for school run or the times where I'm trying to go somewhere and there is sheep literally all over the fucking road and you're like, move bitch, get out of the way, I've got places to be. And then you get somewhere and it's not just like, the dog ate my homework, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm late, I got stuck in sheep. Anyway, you can see where all the sheep walk along the side of the hills. They walk the same track over and over and over and over and over again. And then eventually I'm driving past and I realize, hey, there haven't been sheep in there for like 3 years. The worn track is still there. What you want to create is that repetition to create a new neural pathway, a new worn track in your brain, in your consciousness. And how you do that is by actually following through. Imagine the sheep's like starting on the track and it gets a couple of steps in and goes, what's over there? I'll go look over there instead. And then it tries again, comes back the next time. It's going to the water ring hole or whatever the fuck. I don't even know. I'm not a farmer. I'm just using a sheep reference. And then the next time the sheep's on the path, it gets a little bit further along and then it's just like, oh, shiny thing. Next time it goes up the hill, gets halfway and it's like, oh, this is uphill. This is hard. I don't want to go this way. I'm going to go that way instead. That path is never going to get worn in. It's never going to become the new path. It's never going to get easier. Right? You've got to keep doing the same thing over and over again for it to become your new pathway, for it to become your new normal. Right? So you have this opportunity right now with the 90-day challenge to get solid as fuck in your brand and really become that girl that has her life together, that knows what she's doing and makes decisions from a place of confidence. So imagine like what your life would look like if you keep the promises you make to yourself. Just the way you do for your loved ones, right? You promise you're going to turn up to the assembly, you turn up. You promise you're going to take your kid to basketball every single week, you take your kid to basketball every week. You promise if they do that, they're going to get $2 pocket money. And you do it, you show up, you finish it. And we know that if we do something and there's a positive force at the end long enough, that becomes like another stronger connection too. So this is how you decide. You decide, and then the universe responds with a fuck yeah. Right now, you're deciding something, and your flaky bitch, inconsistent energy, who knows you never finish everything or do what you say we're going to do because you can tap out and no one will notice because they weren't looking anyway. You decide, you never complete it. And so the universe, every time you decide, just goes, oh, here we go again. Okay. Right? If you're triggered as fuck, this is a good sign. Something to look deeper into, right? But this is, once you do this, the 90-day planning, this is the work. You decide, and if you do 90-day plans and you show up and you give your subconscious evidence that you actually do what you say you're going to do, not only are you going to grow your business and grow your income and have more impact and all the good things that you want, but the secondary layer, the secondary outcome of this is from then on, when you decide, the universe responds with, fuck yes, we're doing this. Because I know that she will start something, she will set a goal, and she will see it through. She hasn't before, but now she's shown me she can. And watch how fucking quick I manifest shit for her. You decide, the universe responds with, fuck yeah, bitch, get my keys. This is how I picture the universe. It's like a super camp gay guy with like the bleach blonde, you know, the quiff, I'm not sure. But I picture him like in silky booty shorts sitting on a couch, like Harley Quinn's couch, you know, in the movie, Birds or whatever the fuck it is, sitting on the couch eating cereal, waiting for me to make a decision. And when I make a decision, he would previously be like, okay, let's see how she does with this. Now I make a decision and he's like, fuck, he's eating cereal. He's like, fuck, oh my God, okay, find my keys. She's doing shit, we gotta go. We gotta meet her halfway and get this shit done. It's like a fuck yeah now, not just a, okay, we'll see what she does. The 90-day plan, the challenge that I'm gonna take women through over 90 days, it's not just a plan. It is a complete paradigm shift in how you behave and show up in reality, but also how you see yourself, how you hold yourself to a new standard, how you behave, how you make decisions, your mindset, and your ability to push through when things are slow, right? Because that's the thing. Anyone can have an amazing, abundant mindset when they've got a fat as fuck bank account and clients coming out their ears. Show me your abundance mindset. Show me how you behave as a leader when your bank account's dusty as fuck. That's the difference. I'm going to hold you to a new standard for 90 days, and you will be a completely different person on the other side of this. That's the thing. It's not just a plan. It's not just a challenge. It will completely change the way you move in this world, the way you run your business, and how you see yourself. You will be a different person on the other side of this because it is a commitment to consistency. It is a vow to yourself to follow through. And it's like you're pledging to yourself and to me and to the other women in the group for 90 days that you are going to show up for yourself like never before. And this is really, it comes back to, this is your chance to stop the leaks. This is your chance to rewrite the narrative. This is the chance to stand in front of those mirror and say the affirmations and actually believe them. This is your chance to become the woman who can affirm to herself, I keep my promises. And your subconscious will deeply thank you for that. Yeah. So that's kind of the main points I wanted to share today. If you have questions about 90-day challenge, the planning, and basically any questions for me, because I'm just like fucking bored at home. And all my coaching calls aren't until later this month, or later in January, sorry. But if you want to learn more about 90-day planning, you can comment 90 on this live or whatever, or I'll put a link in the replays as well. We begin on January 1st. We run for 90 days. The enrollments will be open for the first 7 days of January, and then they will close, and everyone will be waitlisted until next round. So there are only 4 enrollments for this throughout the year, and I will only be accepting 20 to 25 spaces in each round because you have me one-on-one, like checking in with you every week. So obviously I can't do that with 500 people. But if you are ready for 2024 to be the year where you transform from flaky and chaotic, and we're going to keep a little bit of the chaos because that's what keeps things interesting, but from flaky and unsure and not sure what's working in your business and don't really know how to grow with consistency, and you know consistency is something you need to work on. If you're ready to transform that into consistent as fuck, solid as fuck, and just certain, this like complete certainty in who you are, what you're doing in your business, what you have to do when you wake up every day. I cannot even explain the freedom, you guys, when you wake up in the morning and you're a business owner and you're like, I'll make a coffee and I'll go into my office and I'll scroll TikTok for a bit, and then I probably should write some emails and pack some orders, and what else did I have to do today? Oh, fuck. And then you spend so much time in your office and you look back at the end of the week and like, I did a lot, but what did I do? Where are the sales? Wait a minute. Did I do anything? And it's like this roundabout, looking busy, feeling busy, not getting anywhere energy. And we're leaving that in 2023 because the energy for 2024 is waking up and knowing, opening that Notion document, which I've set up, and being like, oh, there's my tasks for today. Here's what I have to do. Bam, 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 bam. Tick it off. Okay, what's next? Let's look into some long-term goals. What's my personal goals? Should I get a massage? Knowing exactly what you have to do. And then every Sunday, having that time, that carved intentional, because I'm going to fucking check in with you, time to sit down and go, did I do what I said I was going to do? What were the results of that? How many leads came in? How many sales did I make from that? What did I do really well this week? What did I do bad that I need to work on? What do I want to work on next week? What personal development am I reading? Did I take care of myself? That type of check-in, not only for you, but doing that as a group and understanding that you're not alone. Everyone has up and downs in business. I'll be completely honest. My last 90-day plan, I had some shit weeks. I did not want to get on and share with everyone what I did or didn't do, but you do. And that's what grows you. And that's what normalizes the ups and downs in business, but also helps you emotionally detach from it when you can go through it and see all these other women going through it as well, right? So you do it. It requires that level of brutal honesty with yourself. You check in every week. This is what worked. This is what isn't working. Here's my new goals for the next week. And then you go again. And you don't let emotional bullshit come in. You don't let shame or guilt or judgment or fear or like pride get involved. It's just like, here's the numbers. Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to check in, vibe check things, and I'm going to move on to the next week. I'm going to keep getting better. The mental changes that happen over this are amazing. So just to wrap up again, 90 days with me in a intimate group coaching session, structured daily and weekly goals, accountability through weekly check-ins, supportive community available 24/7, 3 in-depth live calls with me for guidance and coaching and all the rest of it. You've got resources like journals, ebooks, audio trainings, extra stuff, all the things. And it really comes down to, this is your chance to stop the leaks. Are you genuinely ready to transform from flaky and chaotic into certain and consistent? Because that's it. We create momentum, income, and impact in our business through consistency and compounded effect by inspired action at a massive level. So, does anyone have any questions about the 90-day planning? There are only 20 spots available. We begin on January 1st. We run for 90 days together as a group. There is pay in full and payment plan options. There is an early bird that will drop every round as well. So if you are like, I invested in what I need to do this 90 days, but bitch, I'm in for the next one, make sure you go and sign up to the wait list, because those are the people that will get the information about next round, or this round even. Like, those are the people that get the options before anyone else. So the chances are, when I start sharing the results of the women in this 90-day round, it's going to sell out before it even makes it public. It will pretty much go to waitlist only. So you want to be on that one, right? So once again, to just recap, structured daily and weekly goals to keep you on track. Accountability through weekly check-ins, because I'm here to cheer you on and keep you motivated, but also like radically responsibly hold you accountable. A full online tracking and software setup ready to go via the Notion app that once you join, you can keep forever. It's yours. You're welcome. A supportive community of like-minded women, because everyone who's in this is like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take this absolutely fucking seriously. I'm ready, right? So they're going to inspire you. And you never know who might become your new business bestie. I am so lucky that some of my close friends, I have never met in person, but we have found each other through being parts of masterminds, being parts of memberships, doing courses together, and just connected, and we're like, I like you. And like you too, bitch. Should we FaceTime and talk every week? Sure. Like, you just never know where your next referral, where your next new business bestie is going to come from, right? I've got people I met sitting at award nights next to someone I never knew, who I value so much today because of that. Or joined another mastermind group and just connected, and called each other for the last 8 years. It's insane. Completely different continents and never met in person. Then you also get 3 live calls with me. So these are about the top tips, answering burning questions, working through problem solving stuff together. It really is your chance to have an in-depth, longer call that if you booked privately with me would be over $1,000. And you get 3 calls like that. It's as a group, but anyone who's done group coaching with me before on the elite membership and anything will vouch for the power that comes out of group coaching calls is incredibly potent. And then obviously bonus resources, ebooks, audio trainings, all that type of stuff. So there was the early bird price that's gone now. Sorry guys, whatever. We are full price now. And that will be open until we begin on the 1st and we run for 90 days. So if you join late, that's okay, but you join late. So you're doing a 90-day plan from week 2, week 3, whatever you want to do. Will only be week 2. I'm keeping the cart open for 7 days after January 1st, only because, and this won't happen every other round I do. I know how annoying it is when people just clock off and don't pay their invoices until they get back in the new year. Because my husband and I are both self-employed, and yeah, that we have that many outstanding invoices from clients who are like, we're out of office. And I'm like, so pay your bills before you leave. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But so that's why I'm keeping it open an extra 7 days, because I understand if you're like, I really want to sign up, but I've got to wait till X pays Y invoice so that I can join up. I totally get it. So we open for 7 days after the 1st of January. And then that's it. Then we close and we run for 90 days together. And you've got to wait for the next enrollment period. Yeah, and so that's it. There is actually a bonus at the moment. So if you sign up before January 1st, you will also, I feel like a total fucking sponge salesman here. Like, Sham, wow. But I'm like, if I don't share all this with you guys, I know half of us aren't checking out emails at the moment because it's just all fucking shit. You will also get a copy of my Wealthy and Winning journal, which is something that I made a year ago. I never publicly launched properly, but she's amazing. It is a full 6-month journal with daily affirmations and a like a journaling prompt every single day. She's a thick, badass coffee table bitch. This is an intentional journal. This is not one you chuck in the bottom of your handbag and pull out when you're bored. This is one that you make your morning coffee for. You sit down, take deep breaths, and open her up because it's life-changing. But yeah, if you sign up before January 1st, you'll get one of these as well. So that reminds me, I do actually probably need to launch that publicly and tell people that I've done it too. One of those things that I'm just like, I'm going to make this. And I really was just making it for like my private clients. And I'm like, I want to give them something really fucking cool. When they sign up to work with me for 6 months, I want them to like receive this amazing hardcover, like incredible journal. And I want them to be so like fucking orgasmically excited when they open this thing. And then I just kind of like, it ended up getting picked up on Amazon and a whole bunch of other places because it just did. I think I've done Target US, and I never did a launch. Whereas my other books I've published, I've always done like a launch or some type of event. And this I just honestly forgot about because it was something I was creating for my private clients. And the public ended up getting it. So it's always cool when someone orders one, finds it, and messages me like, hey, I got your journal. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Forgot people could get that. Anyway, so that, if you sign up before January 1st, you'll get one of those journals as well. So there we go. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm just going to check Facebook behind us. No, we're good. We're up to date on that. Cool. So yeah, I guess let's make 2024 a year to remember, and let's in 90 days have the kind of success and income and impact and growth in our businesses where people look back and it's like, oh my God, I cannot believe she did that. She fucking did that. Oh my God, did you see how much she's grown in the last 3 months? That's what we want. That's the vibe for 2024. So anyway, I'm going to go and enjoy the very brief moments I still have left before my husband brings the kids home. I might do Pilates, might go for a nap, I don't know. I'm going to go and enjoy that. And if you have any questions about the 90-day challenge, please just send me a DM. If you want to get on the wait list or find any more information via email about that, just comment 90 as you're watching this. And yeah, I will see you guys in the 90-day challenge. We begin on January 1st and I'm super fucking excited about it. Okay, bye. Okay, make sure I end this properly.